Hello, I am Proudster. Crap. Also, I'm Broudster, also known as one of the highest ranked and best American players of all time on Mario Kart PC. I may not be the highest in terms of North American VR or even skill, but I still have quite the skill under my belt. I've been playing Mario Kart PC since November of 2021, and I registered in January of 2022, I think. Anyways, this is a quick tutorial of how to reverse drift in 2025. What is Mario Kart PC and reverse drifting for those of you who don't know? It is an online free Mario Kart game for the PC and mobile phones or web browser, or basically that. There are many players who have registered on MKPC, but Mario Kart PC hit 1 million player visits in mid 2023. I don't have an exact guess for how many players have been on MKPC. Like I believe like 75 to 80,000 players have registered, but at least 2 million have visited. For reverse drifting, it is a mechanic where you charge orange mini turbo boost continuously to have a lot of momentum. It is quite hard or easy if you know how to do it to master. So continue if you want to learn more about reverse drifting. Selecting the right character. It is the most important it is the most important thing to have to learn reverse drifting. Most characters cannot learn reverse drifting, said by the text here. Only 5 characters can technically fully reverse drift. Those are Peach, Birdo, Daisy, Drybones, and to a very lesser extent, Toadette. Wouldn't recommend that. But Daisy has max handling, so you should definitely main Daisy if you want to reverse drift. You could do it with Peach if you want to, uh, but Daisy has the best stats in the game. Everyone mains her. Step 2. What is reverse drifting? It is a continuous chain of orange mini turbos boosts with high handling character to keep going at high speed from 80 to 120 kilometers an hour, 100 kilometers on average, and 150 cc. It is a difficult mechanic to master, so if you don't know how to reverse drift but want to learn it, learn snaking first. And if you don't know how to do that, learn drifting first. It will make everything a lot easier. If you already know snaking, good. You don't need. If you don't know snaking, I will explain that later. Fundamentals. For the third step, go on Mario Kart PC and go onto Figure 8 Circuit, right here in the 1-Up Cup. If you don't have that, or you have not even basically completed all of these, don't worry, try playing the game for a while to learn. It is a fundamental thing to practice drifting in order to learn how to do reverse drifting, because game is nothing without reverse drifting, or even drifting for the matter of fact. It was only discovered in 2021 by JPG, so I'm kind of surprised it was fairly recent. Bro, my account is younger than reverse drifting. It's a kind of a weird fact. Anyways, here's Figure 8 Circuit for you guys. Controls. For the fourth step to learn reverse drifting is to first learn how to drift, which is simple. You 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 go in a match, and when you turn, press control. Hold on, crap. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to restart this for like the 5th millionth time. You go into the settings and control. You see control right there is where is your jump/drift key default. You could change it to however you're liking, or you could keep it default. Many pros keep this default, or change it. Many pros keep this default, and I'm for sure the only exception of this, because I use S for drift/jump, and KAJD for my controls. Here's an image of the close-up from when you first go onto the main screen. You have to translate the language into English or French because it's mostly maintained by French people. If you're an English one, good, you can just go into the bottom and click the British flag icon. Or if you're French, you can leave that be. This is in the English version. Game controls there. Step 5, controls and game settings. Alright, now that you found the options in the bottom left, click the settings icon next to the controls on your screen. Once you click that, you can see 2 areas and many options. Those are controls and advanced settings. I will talk about them right now. Step 5A, game settings for the keyboard specifically. Game settings are basically your controls, and you can change them with keys on a keyboard or buttons on a gamepad/controller or even a mobile device. I will go over both. Default controls are not terrible. In fact, they're kind of good at a high level. I don't use them. Arrow keys, WSD, IJKL, and other arrow key configurations are Why does it not say optimal? What the hell just happened? Alright, just ignore that for once. Anyways, I don't use any of these. I use KJD and S for drift. You can adjust them however you're liking. For step 5B, the gamepad slash controller, or even mobiles, for mobile players, these are make insanely small percentage of Mario Kart PC players. It is significantly harder to reverse drift on controller and mobile since they don't have multiple easy keys. And mobile is stupid hard since I don't think you can reverse drift. I think you theoretically could if you were good enough, but reverse drifting on controller is somewhat doable, but not very optimal. Mostly what I said earlier can apply to here, but you would have to change the configuration to do so. I have a performance design products PDP or whatever switch controller bound to here, so that's good to know. Step 5C, advanced settings. You don't have to do any of these unless you have lag. That's basically me and some others who have very crappy devices. Anyways, now that you've completed the or figured out the game settings you want, it is time for advanced settings like decorations, GIFs, quality, and miscellaneous stuff. Many graphic settings exist like quality, sound, or frame rate. If your PC is powerful, you can leave these be. If your PC is not powerful, you can disable all of these except for the minimap, because the minimap can be seen both in full screen and non-full screen mode. However, if you disable the rest, you may have a bit trouble on like shortcuts, for example, in Luigi's Mansion, the last track of the One Up Cup. Step 6, snaking. Now you have the controls you want, so for your preference and liking, you can begin learning snaking. Snaking is where you drift left or right in a straight path and charge a blue mini turbo, a slower and easier charge compared to an orange one. Here's how to snake in simplicity. First, you go on. You have you. I. What has gotten into me today? Anyways, drift right or left on a straight path. Wait until you charge a blue mini turbo and then release and go in a straight line and charge in the other one. Once you figure out you can change this fast enough and consistently, you can repeat this on a straightaway or just take a normal smaller drift on a corners or something. For corners, I would recommend first drifting to the left, no, left or right, then straightening out and then continuing in that same direction to follow along the curve. That's what pros did before reverse drifting was found in 2021 by JPG, respected Spanish player right there, I think. Anyway, Step 7A. Begin to learn the reverse drift. You should have learned snaking before doing this step. Now that you have finished doing, you can do snaking now on turns and paths. It is time for reverse drifting. Reverse drifting is a lot harder to do than snaking, but faster, and is the meta of Mario Kart PC. You first drift in any direction, and you hold gas, and then press the down key. J is mine, and K is on IJKL. S is on WASD, and arrow keys is down arrow. But when you're drifting, you can if you somehow figure out you can hold gas, like after you charge an orange mini turbo, you can quickly tap back on your accelerate key, and press the reverse key in order to get that weird bounce back or that weird drift backwards that happens, and you could charge a straight line orange mini turbo. It's okay if you don't really learn it's okay if you don't chain them properly or you don't get them at first, because something new is not, no one is truly perfect at something new they just learned. This technique can take hours to learn, but you can practice this on figure 8 circuit, and that's how I actually learned it on December 17th. I still remember that day in the One Up Cup and time trials. You can read some of these stuff if you want more information. Anyway, step 7B, expand reverse drifting skills. Now you have a basic understanding of reverse drifting. Hopefully you practice for hours in the meantime. Challenge yourself to brake tap faster, like from 0.5 seconds to zero point 0.3 and 0.2. Don't tap faster than 0.2 because that can be a bit hard. It could actually make you slow down. So you should actually stay between 0.2 and 0.5. 0.3 is optimal, I think, or zero point 0.2. I do 0.2. You can expand your new drifting skills or reverse drifting skills to the other side of the direction. We can see here the turn is going left, but I'm facing right, and you could hold your down key or reverse key in order to keep aligning and continue chaining. Well, many professional players do on some turns. You could expand your optimal lines for other tracks such as the SNES or Mario Circuit 1 on the SNES and the Mushroom Cup. You should at least practice for a few hours if you want to know how to continuously do this. You could expand in the meantime, but in the meantime, you could Step 7C, expand reverse drifting onto other tracks. Once you've figured out how to reverse drift on one track, you could expand your skills to all of the other ones over time. This can make you have even better time trials, consistencies, and most importantly, runs, which can make you become a quick top 1% player. Because I think less than a little more than 400 know how to reverse drift. You can expand these newfound skills of yours to other tracks to make sure you can do them online, time trials, or even lounges for pro matches. In conclusion, the overview and potential pro play. The overview of reverse drifting uh, is what it takes to get the mechanic mastered and to get good at the game. When event if you event, I am struggling today. What am I doing? And you'll eventually practice long enough, you could potentially enter professional play, which is what I did. If you grind, you could join the Discord server, the custom track Discord server, because it's in beta and everyone is doing that right now. You get to play with pros like me or other tips. You could play with F-Ways, you could play with Nudgy, you could play with basically all the pros. But you would be a low ranked player because Mogis are kind of rigged sometimes, or they're just determined by skill or teammates. You 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 could just chat or have fun on the custom tracks. You could expand your normal skills beyond the base 56 as the custom tracks offer more possibilities. Anyways, like and subscribe and join my Discord server for future tips. Anyways, I'll be out. Oh, what the